Hey everybody, Game with Captain Gravy here. Today I'm going to be explaining negative experience values. To the contrary of the name, they are indeed not negative experience points. You'll get the red dots or arrows if you use a too powerful setup on the fish you're fighting. So basically it's just match your setup to the fish you're after. So right now I'm fishing for spotted bass on the Lone Star Lake. And this reel has a max drag of 4.4 pounds. Now by itself, this reel doesn't give a whole lot of power, and neither do spotted bass. They don't give a lot of experience either. But as you can see, if I manage to catch one this cast, that spotted bass, when I bring it up out of the water, will have none of the red arrows pointing backwards, indicating that I used the correct setup and I matched the power of the spotted bass and brought it in. So basically all those mean when you pull them up just means that you use too powerful gear to catch your fish you're after. So let's just say I just threw this same lure out here, but I threw it out with, let's just say, a 20-pound reel and a setup that matched that 20-pound standard, which would be completely overkill for anything in this lake. I'd get a negative experience value, or deducted experience would probably be a better term. So you'll get a deducted experience value if you do not match the power of your setup with your fish you're after. And I can do this in multiple ways, but it's generally a good idea to, especially on smaller fish, I use the same exact reel settings. Like spotted bass never get above 2 pounds, but since bass are good fighters, I take that into account and use 4-pound stuff, 4-pound line on this, and a reel to match it. If I'm fighting buffalo carp, I also use 4-pound stuff, even though they are technically bigger than the spotted bass here. I will indeed use 4-pound stuff because they do not fight as hard. So you kind of have to match it with what you know about each fish, and if you fought it before, how much you know on how hard it pulls and how long it took you to get your fish in. So generally speaking, if you're going solely experience farming, your best bet is to use slightly underpowered gear. You'll get more experience that way. At least try to match it to the fish you're after. It takes a bit of practice and just finding the key spots, but once you match your gear to the power of the fish, you should get no negative experience value. And if you use slightly underpowered gear, you will get an increased experience gain. It's not going to be a whole lot on these small fish, but when you're fighting big fish, it can give you at least 100 more if you use pretty underpowered gear. So it just really all depends on what you're after and what you use to catch your fish. So I'm going to cast out one more time. See if I can catch anything. I had to run there for a couple minutes, but it's the way it is with this lake. Dies out. Just gotta keep doing lift and drop. you'll get pretty good action for the first solid minutes, and then the rest is average, and then you'll get like 5 minutes on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. You can see this thing is taking out line. It's taking it above, right almost to the red limit, as I call it, the red zone or danger zone. Anyway, it's taking it right up there, and I probably could increase the drag a little more, but that'd run the risk of breaking my line, so I do not do that. So I'll bring this fish in and see how much it gives. This is a bigger spotted bass. 1.5, it's not huge, but gives 16 experience. Now we're going to keep it. Now I'm going to strap on a humongous reel. And we're going to put, well, this thing can only withstand 9 pounds, so it'd be wise to put on stuff that sort of matches it. We'll just put this on. This is totally unorthodox. I highly do not recommend completely mismatching your gear like this. And I'm going to turn the drag all the way down and adjust it as needed when I catch another fish. There we go, fish on. So we're going to increase the drag. Should read, there we go. And I think the level of arrows indicates the level of your setback. So that's pretty substantial. I think the max is like 5 or something like that. I got 3 out of 5, or don't quote me on that, but I've seen 5 maximum for me. So there you go, negative experience value right there. I'm going to keep the fish. It was a fairly nice sized one too. So that was negative, or how shall we say, like I said earlier, reduced or deduced experience values. They will hurt your experience gain if you're solely experience fishing, so just try and match the test of your gear. So if you're using 20-pound stuff, you're going after at least 20 to 30-pound fish. It depends on what it is. Again, solely like 6-pound salmon will give your 20-pound gear some trouble in Alberta, Canada. And when you get anything above 15 pounds, it just starts pulling it out. But you can bring it in. I've caught things up to, I think it was 28-pound trophy Atlantic salmon with 20-pound gear. It was a heck of a fight, but it lasted for quite a while too. But it was lots of fun, and I gained some good experience after that just because of how hard the fish was fighting. And I think that's kind of just what experience is. Experience is the measure of how well you caught a fish and how much skill you had to use to bring it in. Please like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Captain Gravy signing out. Y'all have a terrific week.